Yeah. August 26, 2019, 2:08 a.m. A lot of people's not going to get this, but I'm not even going to say get into it. 4 years ago, New York City, New York, ferry boat, as I'm going to label some of these just with words. Um, Someone exposing at least one of the orchestrators, leading people in the organized, not just stalking, harassment, enforcement against myself. So I'm here in Columbus, Ohio right now. If that gives an example for those who want to try to understand what I'm doing here, but it'll be just proof for later, which I'm going to cut my fingernails here in a second, but I just want to show this off. Other things are happening today where and I just heard undertone voice, you're being county jacked. So this has to do with some of it. Basically, interfering with my daily living to the point of trying to exactly understand everything. Put it that way, and meaning how I'm trying to iterate that is exactly operations, I guess, of what they can force me to do, what they can't. I bet you'll even have dirt underneath your fingers. I'll even get it underneath one. A lot of it's also mental health. It is systematical stuff. So there's authority involved, but I don't want to label a whole lot. Those who talked about this even 4 years ago will understand it a whole lot better than I do at the moment until it's reiterated back to myself. Makes sense. Yeah, it seems dumb. It seems incapacitated or unstable, but it's really not unstable if you take their situation as saying that's a crazy situation, but you have an ability to add either victimization or add not an excuse but a reasoning to it, and that reasoning completely agreeing with what they're saying, but also agreeing that it's being abused. There's some type of force of power there that shouldn't have been. And I was told for masculinity, how to show my hand itself, uh, rather than doing stuck up, being queasy, gay, homosexual slander, or iterations of characteristics, even though, yeah, one's more feminist, and how the mental mind works of them trying to alterate. Oh, look, yeah, you're converting, ha ha ha, like as if you're defecting or like a spy or some shit like that, but it's not. They're trying to utilize a gender-based characteristic enforcement to alterate my own personality, my own traits and characteristics. You'll do as we tell you. And doing as I'm being told, shit doesn't look like, and doesn't, that's just like trying to say they're trying to when they are doing. Doesn't seem that my health's in good health, right? I'm not completely, like the county said, incapacitated to the point it's unbearable. There are a certain amount of things. And I cut my fingernails the other day. They grew out pretty damn quick. But the point is the dirt underneath that certain finger. My other hand doesn't have that. And oh, right there, that's gay. Ha ha ha. Oh, that's all cool. That's some of their stuff is because of a 1995 situation with more toxic family members and playing karma as a bitch. What goes around comes around, or hey, you get what you deserve. And when you was a kid, you mistreated us, so that's what you get for life. Well, I don't need them, which a lot of people's understanding. It isn't just a simple situation, okay, well, we split our ways. No, we're going to stalk, follow, and enforce whatever we can, basically sabotaging, but putting their hands into whatever they can. Illegally, legally, Some people don't know there's a certain amount of legal rights to take control of family members, even in other states, and them trying to exhaust intentionally all resources while also basically snobbing it, rubbing it, and assaulting it to the face. And this was discussed with the psychiatrist, and that was 8 years ago, basically, I do believe. And yeah, the way they're handling it is definitely toxic. They're not any good for you. And for them to not allow you to have your independency, try to get yourself better without trying to tell you everything that you work on isn't worth a crap, goes to show that they're nothing. So them trying to enforce we're still family and blood related, we have a right to do this, I was told they didn't on certain aspects as far as rights to enforce stuff, enforce behavioral ruling, set rules. When you start trying to play too much of setting rules, that means I'm not independent, treating me like a incapacitated minor, but at the same time, or an incapacitated individual. See, it's all legal. You are incapacitated, I got a right to it. I don't care how it works. We don't care how it works as long as we got the right, the ability of authority, power, and control. And what the psychiatrist had talked about, and a team, is power control freaks. There is almost none of trying to rehabilitate, recover, help out, anything else, unless they control it and get some value out of it. I'm not allowed to have value myself. But explain the reason why. Well, in 1995, you mistreated us, so, and they're making it out harsh in one sense, so taking the realization of how hard it was, yeah, I guess when I take the realization that it wasn't just something you want to brush off, well then cool. I'll go that route too, and yeah, I did take it harsh. They was in here homosexually touching and molesting, and back then I didn't know that ain't molesting. Trying to detour is the way I'll put the words of what the reality of it is. You don't do that, or else we'll have you locked up. You're mentally insane. We'll have our people, which they have connections, and we'll have our people make false determination. You don't fuck with us, haha. Play your mind games and I'll play you out. How do you challenge an adult figure when you're a minor, especially when they're utilizing other family, other sabotage situations that the government controls and has full controllability, and they've sabotaged that? And it would take a while to either explain, or how do you take that while if you're going to be incapacitated by the people who are assaulting in that system, trying to show proof when they're not taking proof and iterating just outright, we're not going to allow you to prove that. Utilizing loopholes, fraud, and intentional corruption, and utilizing that for the abuse form too. Look at what you've been through. Look at what we can do to you. Anyways, we'll go ahead and end this video and upload it. Gift Street, Walnut Street, Columbus, Ohio.